We see this idea of 7 layers on which we exist in the Indian ideal of marriage. And this is the reason why we have the central fire and the knot between the man and the woman, and they walk around together around this fire 7 times, with 3 times the man leads and 4 times the woman leads, meaning thereby the masculine and the feminine elements, all of them come together, and all the planes in an ideal of marriage. People should be together not only physically, but also they must share the joy of common sensations. They must also share common vital interests. They must also share the depth of emotions and longing for each other. They should also share intellectual thought and their mental interests. And above all, they must share with each other the deep psychic aspiration and the soaring into infinite spiritual skies. Such was the ideal of relationship conjured by Indian thought in the Sanatana Dharma in ancient times, which slowly we are beginning to recover and rediscover. Finally, the higher we rise, the different ways in which we can begin to relate with this world. When we live only physically, then this world is simply objects which are physical. When we begin to rise a little higher, then these are not just objects, but objects that will satisfy our desires. We can take the example of a physical idol. To the man living only in the senses, the ideal may just look very nicely made or not so much nicely made. A temple may look grand and beautiful architecture, or it may look like a house of stones. But as we grow further, we may say, oh, this deity, this temple satisfies our desires, fulfills our ambition. And then as we climb further, we may fall in love not with the stone and the monument, but the deity that dwells within the stone. This was the Indian idea of idol worship. It was not worshiping an idol, but the presence installed within that idol or vigraha, which was known as a process called prana pratishtha. And then as one grew still further, one became a jigyasu. And this idol, like the oracle of Delphi, the presence inside began to answer, satisfy the quest and the questions, the jigyasa of the seeker. And then as one grew further, this idol was a symbol, a representative, a physical form, an image, call it whatever, of the divine, of the spiritual essence of things and the core that dwells in all things. So we too can make our life so complete and fulfilled by opening all the other layers, by evolving through all the many levels, by connecting with this wonderful creation on many levels at which we exist and at which creation exists. Even the most meaningless seeming lump of clay exists on all these levels. Earth exists on all these levels. Matter, even our physical body, exists on all these levels. And we owe it to the great Indian seers who were scientists and discoverers in their own right to discover these levels behind the physical and give it to us. We'll speak later on these levels of existence and how they help us understand life better and grow better. Thank you.